It's 8 o'clock and I'm home. Dave's is at his house too. We aren't doing the last lap this week. I do apologize. We've been away from it for a couple of weeks. Last week, Dave was away on business. So between the West Coast times change with here, business obligations he had to do out West, we couldn't do the show, which was fine. We needed to take a break anyway because he did have some stuff to do. This week we had all intentions of doing the show. And I do apologize that we didn't get to do it for you diehards like Gary that are on every week. If you don't know, my dog is up and down. She's got diagnosed with cancer 6 months ago. So she's doing okay at the moment, but last night was a very rough night. I was up quite a bit. We didn't know what we were going to have to do tonight, if we were going to have to take her to the vet, if we were going to have to get her hydrated, whatever the situation was. But she seems to be a little bit better at the moment. I didn't get it back in time to get down to the studio. So we decided that we will put off the last lap for another week. I did see Dave just joined. So Jeff O'Connell, hey, good evening, guys. I see all you guys jumping on board. But that's pretty much the situation. So I'm just at home. I want to give you guys a quick update. I haven't been online a lot lately. I know that you used to see me everywhere. Certain things you need to take a break once in a while. So I've been focusing a little bit more on work and stuff around the house and things like that. But let's kick it off. Jeff, I just saw Jeff joined. I just want to say, Jeff, I hope everything's at least comfortable. If you don't know, Jeff took a pretty hard tumble at PAX Track over the weekend, and he had a couple disturbing images where he was in a back brace, and I know that he took a month off to go down and ride it. So Jeff, and I wish things were going a little bit better. I hope you're comfortable. I hope you're healing quick. I see you're still in Florida, so as most of the moto community who's already seen his post knows, they've already reached out, and if he needs something, you know that you just gotta throw it out there, dude, and most of us will be there for you. So Daytona. Let's talk a little bit about Daytona. What'd you guys think of the track? The oval on the start, kind of like a TT style. Some of the stuff that they did with the track. Throwback to the tunnel jump in '74. They also had that wall. I know there was a little bit concern that wall was actually a Jersey barrier, but numerous times during the broadcast, Ricky mentioned it was styrofoam. What they wanted to do was they wanted to emulate some of the stuff that they had in the tracks over the past 50 years, being at the 50th anniversary. And there was a jump that used to go over the wall of a pit wall. So that was kind of something that they incorporated into the track. I thought it was pretty cool. I liked the way it flowed. It was a super fast track. The start, it didn't cause as many problems as I thought it was going to cause, but it was actually pretty cool to see something different, because we're so used to seeing the same things over and over and over again. Daytona generally just turns into a big whoop fest. And this one looked like it did to some extent, but it flowed. It looked like it was a great track. While we're talking about that, a huge shout out to Chris Canning. If you guys didn't know, you must not have, be following anything. Chris Canning made the evening program on a 125. He didn't quite qualify for the mains. He was ripping that thing, and he was up there. I think at one point he was in qualifying position, but there was a couple of bikes down here, a couple of bikes down there, and he's riding a 125. I saw he posted he had only ridden the bike once and hadn't been on a 125 in quite a while. So, kudos to him, dude. You could really hear that thing. I watched afternoon qualifying, and you could hear that 125 out there just absolutely singing. I was very disappointed in the TV coverage that not once during the show did they mention that a 125 made the night program. NBC, what the heck? The fans down there were loving the fact that there was a two-stroke out there. From the people that were there said that, they just loved it. They cheered every time he went by. He even hit some sort of a massive quad on the last lap. So Chris, man, good stuff. That was just awesome seeing it out there. It was awesome hearing it. Amazing. amazing. Daytona doesn't disappoint. It absolutely doesn't disappoint. But for the regular racing, wow, Eli Tomac on another level, on another level. And I know that Kenny is definitely my favorite. I'm not gonna deny that he is the favorite in our house. I think Eli has just got it. He has just got it. They said this is the first time that he has actually left Daytona with the points lead, and he actually 4 in a row, or unreal, 4 Daytonas now. He moved himself into some pretty elite company with that win. Even if Kenny hadn't have made that slight bobble, Eli would have got him. There's no doubt in my mind Eli would have got him. I know that there's some speculation out there, and Kenny had even said in one of his podium speeches that maybe he had that bobble. If he hadn't had that bobble, it would have been closer. It wasn't going to be closer. I think Eli gets out front, and then Eli does what Eli has to do to maintain. And when people start catching him, he turns it up just enough. So he knows. He's not stupid. He knows what to do. That guy is just a beast. But anyway, so Cooper Webb, pretty sore. He finished 3rd. That's pretty inspiring. Anderson, 4th, and Justin Barsha, 5th. So many of you guys had either all 5 of those guys in the top 5. Some of you had them in the right order in the fantasy. I thought I was doing good. I got smoked. My wife, she moved up. Marie's up now to, I think, 11th place in the standings. She's just ahead of John Pierre. That's pretty cool. She's kicking ass. I keep telling her she's got to get a perfect night and win something. So that would be pretty sick. Win me a set of tires or something. Whatever the prize is, that'd be pretty cool. Although I think she'd probably keep it for herself. I don't know. If you guys did catch it, Brayton finished 10th. He ended up with the wild card. Some of you guys got the wild card. He's not going to be racing Indy this weekend. He does have a broken hand. If anybody saw that little get-together that he had with Vince Friese, and before you start saying Vince Friese, it totally looked like an accident. It looked like Vince came off the jump too hot. Vince's bike never hit him. It looked like his front wheel twisted through his body over the handlebars and into Justin and knocked Justin off his bike while the bike was turning. So it was just a really freak accident. And I'm sure that the Honda guys, they're not too happy if any one of the Honda Satellite guys is going to take out, a factory rider. I'm sure that they do what they can to stay away from each other. That was just a really freak type of accident. So for fantasy, for the points, unreal. Graham Barber, the one and only Graham Barber, is in the lead, 596 points. That's insane. That's awesome. So I know that I was in a couple of text messages or a couple of post messages and threads with him where he's just, what are you making for picks, Graham? What are you making for picks? And we're going to copy Graham's picks. He did it again. Amazing. Bruce Siemens, he's in 2nd. He's down 10 points from Graham. Anthony Appel, who was leading a couple weeks ago, he is in 3rd still. Mike Jakiel, he's in 4th. In Freefall Moto, I know it's getting to be like a broken record. Freefall Moto, I have no idea who you are. Your name's not up there, but good job. You're in the top 5. Leo Photo's brother, Bob Photo, he's running in 6th. So he's just outside. It's cool. I mean, we're having such a good time. I know a few of you guys has said that, you're cheering for riders based on your fantasy league as opposed to how the actual race is going. So that's pretty cool when, you start yelling at your TV because your fantasy guy isn't moving up fast enough into the position that you want him in. It puts a whole nother element on it. Not to take anything away from the actual racing itself, because these guys, this is the best Supercross season in decades when it comes to the competition, the riders, just the bikes that are out there. I mean, it's just phenomenal to see so many people. I can't wait till next year when, yes, I know it's a red KTM when Gas finally comes over here. Hopefully they will join. I know that I have heard that they might be working with a team. So that would be really cool. The more manufacturers, the better. That's my idea. More manufacturers means more bikes on the line. It means more riders out there. It means more jobs in the industry. I don't care if KTM owns them. It doesn't matter. They owned Husky too, or they own Husky. Husky's got its own identity. Gas will have theirs too. It's better than going the other direction. I mean, we see, unfortunately, Suzuki's pulled out of pretty much all of racing except for what we have here. In the U.S., you do see that HEP Motorsports and JGR are both running Suzuki products. I mean, think about where Suzuki was when we turned, into from 78, 79, 80. They and Yamaha, it was just a sea of yellow. It was just phenomenal. So we want to see the manufacturers, and all you guys that are dissing on it being a red KTM, so what? It's out there. All right. With Daytona, there's a couple cool things going on this week, and you guys might have seen some of the posts from today. The last couple of days have been the Ricky Carmichael Amateur Day Supercross. Today was the Vintage Supercross. Now, I know Jeff Stanton was pushing it, so I think he had something to do with it. They toned the jumps down. I saw a bunch of guys down there. I saw Ray Bergeron from White Mountain ATV. He was down there on his YZ490 riding. He was lined up in a couple of different classes. He said Todd DeHoop and Jeff Stanton were in his gate, and they just disappeared. So they don't call him Six Time for nothing. That guy is phenomenal. In addition to that, there was our own Doug Henry was down there. They put him on the gate and let him turn some laps on the Supercross track. And it was cool to see his posts and to see what he's doing. So that's always a blast to see Doug out there, see the pictures, see what he's doing. I mean, it's cool to see any of it. Thinking back about the last couple of days, though, I just want to throw a huge shout out to Tony LaRusso, who got back on a starting gate and he won the 45-plus class. I guess he put a last lap pass on John Gruey. Now, John Gruey won the 45-plus at Loretta Lynn's. So he's the amateur national champ for that age bracket. And he is definitely no slouch. I mean, he beat Barry Karsten. So Barry Karsten was third, John Gruey second, Tony LaRusso won. Any one of those guys, they're just unbelievable. We all know how fast Tony is because we get to see him ride anytime you go up to New Hampshire. He usually pulls the bike out and proceeds to, I would say, toy with virtually any rider that shows up and tries to turn laps. It's a blast. I love seeing it. Good job, Tony. Keep it up. Keep up everything you got going on. It's awesome to see what you're doing. Todd Rashad was also down there. I saw pictures of him with his daughter, and they're just enjoying the whole bike week scene. Ken Kaplan down there. I saw Kenny was lining up on an old Mako today. Taylor had some pictures with her, Ken, and Kenny between the starting line, the trailer. Those guys are having a blast. It looks like it's a great week. They're all going to cap it off with a day in the dirt east over at Dade City this weekend. I believe it's Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I'm kind of jealous. I really am kind of jealous because I found out a little bit too late. I started thinking about what we wanted to do and what we could have done. As it turned out, we really couldn't have taken the trip this year anyway, not with the pup being sick. So by next season, things will be different, and that's what we're budgeting for. Is I want to get down there with the 89 KX. I want to run the Vintage Supercross. I want to do a day in the dirt east and just have fun and enjoy the week with all you guys that are down there. Some of you guys are back. Some of you guys that might even be watching right now, you're just flying back. I saw Jamie Marvin flew back. I think Jamie Slaughter, I think that's his name, from the MSC. We're going to have him on in the next couple of weeks to talk about MSC racing. He was down there. I think he flew back. Those guys were both going back to New York. I'm not sure when a lot of the other guys are coming back. I hope you guys are down there all week. You're not missing much up here. I mean, other than the last couple of days was nice, but it's supposed to start dropping again. So hopefully it's warm in Florida for you guys. Let's see. Gary Frank, breaking news, two-stroke smoke kills the coronavirus. Suzuki's to bring back the RMs. Dude, wouldn't that be awesome? Could you imagine if Suzuki brought back two-stroke? What would it do? It would give them a shot in the arm as a manufacturer with the two-stroke frenzy going on right now with some of these bikes. Or if any of these manufacturers could actually start bringing out the old casings and make some parts for the old bikes, because it seems to be so huge. Speaking of this whole, coronavirus and everything, state of emergency and things being shut down and stopped and not running, I did see that the MXGP of Argentina, which is not running this weekend, it's running next, has already been postponed. As far as I know, there's nothing that I've seen for the Supercross here, and let's keep our fingers crossed that we get the season in, because it would really piss me off if something happened and we had to miss Foxborough after we've been waiting for a couple years for it to come back. That being said, Indies this weekend, our watch party, co-hosted with the studios at Federal Hill, is going off on Saturday. That's going to be awesome. Right now, the event looks like there's a ton of people that say that they want to go. I know that this is something that, group gatherings and stuff kind of freaks some people out. Hopefully you guys in the motocross world aren't freaked out about it from the looks of all your posts. You're not. I spoke with Matt Luchetti. He told me he's got plenty of hand sanitizing soap, and he's got plenty of toilet paper. The place is stocked up. So the studios by Federal Hill, Saturday, 6 to whenever the race is over. I think we said 11 on the event because it's Indy. I think it's a 7 to 10 program, but it's going to be a good night. We have still got e-bikes 508, was planning on coming down with some demos. I got to reach out and touch base with Keith and make sure that's still going to happen. I have a demo unit from Zero Resistance Throttles. Tom Erdman was kind enough to provide me with that so that I could take that down. Any one of you guys want to try it out, it's there for the testing. I've got one on my KTM. I can pretty much answer all your questions. If there's anything I don't know, I'm sure that I can text Tom and let you know. Evans Power Sports School and Chris Seabass said he couldn't make it to the event, but he was going to send some display stuff around, and I think he was going to send somebody down. So it should be a good evening. Hopefully that, you guys won't be too, scared off by the coronavirus. So Stephen Ellis, no, you do not need to reserve to go. It's a $10 cover at the door. They have a cash bar so that they'll have beer, wine, snacks. But you get to check out the Supercross on some pretty damn cool high-end audio video equipment. That would be cool. It's going to be cool. I'm going to be there. So we're going to have a blast. All right. So I was just mentioning my KTM. We were talking a little bit about, with this whole thing with the vintage bikes and the older stuff going, I'm really thinking about putting my modern bike out for sale. And I'm going to look for another KX, something that's, maybe somewhere between 2000, 2005-ish. I like to go with a 2005 and kind of go through that whole bike and build it up and just go all two strokes. I love the two strokes. I love the 89 that I'm running. I think that's a blast. And I would love to just go back, maybe put some different things on it, put some graphics on a bike, design them around. I'm kind of torn between whether I want to go with the 2000, because then that's eligible to race vintage next year. So if we have a good time racing this season with the 89, maybe we'll bring two bikes, enter a couple more classes next year. All the mountain biking. Hopefully I'll be able to breathe and hang on and hold on to that thing. So, all right. Couple of things that are upcoming, and then we can I can double check some of the comments and see if you guys are going on. Anybody who rides with us in mountain bikes, we are doing our weekly mountain bike ride. First time, daylight savings. Still going to need the lights because the last half hour is still going to be kind of dark coming out of the woods. But we're going to ride Diamond Hill this Thursday. So you got to be at the parking lot down there at the Diamond Hill Park right off of 114. It's at, we like to get there for 5 o'clock. I like to hit the woods by 5:15. So hopefully we have a good sized crowd. We're going to ride the side that goes across the street and up behind the ice cream machine that heads over to West Rentham Road. So it's going to be a good one. The rides have been getting bigger and bigger. There's so many people that have joined us this year. It's really the coolest thing to get as many of us out there as possible. when we're doing all the night rides and the lights, you'd start with the lights on and finish with the lights on. Hey, there's my pup. She's in the background, so you guys can see she's moving around. She's a little shaky still, but anyway, those lights are awesome. When you get a crowd of guys out there in the woods and you just see like a train coming through the woods with just nothing but lights. So cool. And speaking of mountain bikes, Pegs to Pedals up at Southwick, the Wick 338 Motocross. I believe that is on May 2nd. They have a few things that they've refined from the first event last fall. This one should be really cool. I'm looking forward to it. You know, if I do sell the KTM and I don't have it, I'm racing the 89. I don't give a shit. I'm going to race that, and then I'm going to ride my mountain bike in the woods. I just like to have fun. Anything on two wheels is a blast. Maybe I'll get John Levesque to load me his KX450. Because either that or I'll team up with you, John. Maybe you ride the moto section and I'll ride the mountain bike section if we do something like that. That would be pretty cool too. So March 28th, Dan Plord has opened up Rocket Raceway down in Pennsylvania, renamed it MX23 Unleashed. His opening day is March 28th. That's free to all the riders that show up for that day to ride. You're more than welcome to camp over, hang out. He wants everybody to hang out and have fun. They're going to have a few things planned. I guess a big bonfire, bunch of things going on. Sunday's ride is the normal rate of $40, but again, Saturday is free. So if you feel like taking a ride down, checking it out, John Shimolinski is running the dozer down there, getting the track taken care of, managing the whole thing for him. This year's going to be good. He's got some big things planned with that place. And everything's going to kick off on March 28th. I think they might be open to ride at regular rates before that, including this weekend. So you might want to just check the Facebook pages. And it's a good idea to check the Facebook pages with all the tracks, because a lot of you guys went to Southwick last weekend. They were able to open up and run a practice. I saw a post somewhere that they would like to do that as much as possible before the season starts. So definitely click onto their Facebook page, the Wick 338 Motocross. Check check where they stand with being open. Wareham MX. Jake has been open as much as he could possibly be open over the winter. Get on his page, Wareham MX LLC. Check out his availability. That place packs up. A lot of guys go down there. A lot of guys ride. I've seen a lot of us from in this area traveling down to New Jersey, Englishtown. I'm not sure what the official name of Englishtown is now, but I saw some guys down there. I saw some people at Fielded Dreams. So the season is upon us. People are riding. The best thing to do to check out who's open, who's doing what, who's doing where, is absolutely check their Facebook pages. That's the way to go. All right. I'm going to post it in a little bit. Hopefully, Art, you're not going to be too pissed at me, because we're going to unbox this thing in the next couple of weeks when it's done. But Art Trahan's working on a pretty cool design helmet for me to run when I run the vintage bikes. So Artco is got the creative juices going, and he's going to have something really special. He did just send me a little bit of a teaser picture. I can't post it in the thread while I'm online, but I may post it in the thread afterwards so that you guys can see a little bit about what it's looking like. It's pretty badass so far. I'm pumped. I can't wait. I haven't really had one for a long time, a custom painted helmet. So, all right. So let me take a look at the comments. Bill Hobbs, good evening. Bill is down in Florida. Bill, I think you're still in Florida. I hope you're in Florida. You were down there over the weekend, because I know I saw you posting. Answer Racing, that's the gear company that's that helps me out through Tucker Power Sports. I run all Answer products for shirts, pants, gloves. They got some really good stuff, lightweight gear. It's a lot of fun. I like it. If it's good, it's great stuff. I mean, it's motocross gear. Gotta have it. Gotta have it. All right, let's see. Let's see. My brother says Wareham Thursday afternoon. Again, check out the Facebook pages, because if for some reason there's too much water and you guys can't go, you can't go. I know that's kind of Captain Obvious statement, but anyway, Jeff O'Connell was at Daytona. He said that you heard, saw, and smelled that two-stroke in the field. Again, Chris Canning, killing it, killing it. When was the last time a 125 two-stroke, not, I would love to say even tried to qualify, but I'm sure a couple people have tried to qualify on 125 two-strokes. But when was the last time you saw one actually make the evening program and line up on TV? I mean, that's insane. I saw him on TV. We all saw him a couple of times. Again, NBC Sports, seriously, come on. What the hell is going on? Didn't even mention the fact that a two-stroke 125 was in the night program. So disappointed. So disappointed. All right, scrolling back a little bit here. Phil Petras, we talked about the gas. He loves the gas thing, think it's great for the sport. Yeah, dude, I mean, again, more manufacturers, the better off we are. That's the lifeblood of the sport. Think back to the, in the 70s, and I know, Bill, when in your heyday, how many manufacturers would you see on a race weekend? It wasn't 5. It wasn't, the 4 Japanese bikes and KTM. Now you got Husqvarna that they threw in the mix too. And yes, it is the same, it's owned by Husky. I mean, it's owned by KTM, but it's a different image, different. They have their own image. It's just incredible. I'd like to see more of that. So hopefully gas adds that element to it. And they do come to the United States. Speaking of MXGP, and that's where they are now. That was pretty muddy this weekend. Anybody catch that? One of the deals with MXGP, I really like recording the races because they're on so late, and then watching them, the following day. And CBS Sports has been having other events kind of like run into it. So I've only been able to see some of it. Most of it I watch highlights on YouTube. But either way, MXGP, unfortunately, they did decide to take a break because of the coronavirus. It is what it is. The world's afraid. I know there's up and down. So hey, whatever. Let's see what else you guys got. Anybody got anything else? I'm just kind of like looking here at the ticker. I've been on for half an hour, and I kind of want to, when I do come on by myself here, I like to keep them just about half an hour. So I don't know. What do you guys got? Anybody got anything you want to throw out there and have me address? Maybe I can put my opinion on it and let the rest of you guys join in on the threads and go from there. I know in a couple moments when I sign off here, I'm going to throw that teaser picture that Art had sent me, and it's just too cool not to. I mean, the thing, I'm so stoked. I cannot wait. It's going to be amazing to see when everything's said and done. It's going to fit in perfectly with the 89KX, the vintage retro theme, all the stuff that was kind of like going on back then, with colors and stuff like that. Cool as shit. Gotta dig it. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. I mean, we've constantly had over 20 people on this evening, and for an impromptu kind of single thing here without doing the actual show, I really appreciate it. Hopefully I'll get back to posting a little bit more here and there, but in the meantime, make sure you you follow the pages, Old Men That Used to Race. That's where we're broadcasting live from here. I got 3,500 almost following that page now. I'd love to see that thing keep growing and growing and growing. The group's got 2,900 people in it. That's awesome. Northeast MX is pushing 4,500. So let's just do it. Oh, James McNamara, what's a good all-around trail mountain bike? All right, so for mountain bikes, that's another project, Northeast MTB, that I got a bunch of old motocross racers working on with me. For a mountain bike, if you're going to ride in places, say Massasoit State Forest, and Joe Orlando, you can attest to this because you ride one even though you just snapped your freaking derailleur hanger. That's ugly. A hardtail with a good fork would do you well in a place like that. If you plan to ride a little bit more aggressive, places like we ride in Foxborough, Diamond Hill, things with rocks, a full suspension, those bikes would be great. Now's the perfect time of season to go and look for bikes because there's a lot of leftover deals as we're heading into springtime. Personally, I go to Landry's in Norwood. They help me out. There's a lot of other great shops around that help out some of the riders. If you want, what I would suggest, James, is going on to the page Northeast MTB, give that a follow. It's linked with all the rest of the old men that used to race stuff. Throw it out there. See who responds and tells you. Like I said, it's going to depend on where you ride and the type of riding you do. Are you just starting? Are you getting back into it? That type of thing. So Northeast MTB, throw that out there. Gary, thank you. Yeah, the pup is struggling again. Like I said, that's the reason that we didn't make it down to the studio tonight. She's kind of up and down. So hopefully she ate some today, and I mean, hey, it is what it is. These dogs, they get old and they get sick, and unfortunately our pup has been diagnosed with cancer, and docs gave her 6 months to a year. We're at 6 months right now, so I'm treating her being she was 10 and a half years old. Her 11th birthday comes up in April. They said, you can operate. We're going to take part of her intestines out and we're going to resection it, 2 spots. They have to check all of her organs if they did that. It's like, you know what? This poor dog is 10 and a half years old. No, absolutely not. We're not going to open her up like that. We're going to let her have the best quality of life. And we're going to just, help her out and try to make her comfortable until we have to make that decision that every pet owner dreads. I've been treating her with some CBD drops in her food. It seems to work fantastic. Billy, any news on Jimmy D? I hadn't heard anything on Jimmy D. I know that he was struggling down in Florida. I don't know if he crashed again, but I do know that, when we saw him a couple weeks ago and he said he had some damage to, I think he said his pelvis. He had a fracture or something like that in his pelvis, and he was trying to ride. I can't even imagine how hard that is to ride Supercross. It's hard enough to ride, on sit, never mind try to race, a motorcycle at the levels that they're racing. So I will definitely try to find out and see if I can share any status updates and stuff like that. But sorry guys, I'm getting messages at the same time. It's pretty crazy. But yeah, we'll try to find out. We'll try to figure it all out. Any of you guys that are playing Fantasy Supercross this week with us, being in that rmfantasysx.com league, get your picks in. It's Indy. It's East Coast round. So granted, it doesn't make a difference because they're all 450 riders that are in their league. But still, again, Brayton is out, broken hand. Don't pick him. I don't know where the wild card falls this week, but I haven't quite gotten to that point yet. So it's been a hectic couple of days. But anyway, all right, guys. Hope you guys all have a great night, and thank you all for the support, the encouragement, for the participation. I know I appreciate it. I can speak for Dave, saying he totally appreciates it. And we just love to see you guys interacting and just growing as a moto community. I mean, who would have thought 2 years into this Old Men That Used to Race project? And I mean, we're just growing bigger and bigger and bigger. And you guys are just, the stuff that's in there is so cool. Bikes have been sold, parts, accessories purchased, people coming out of the woodwork that we haven't talked to in years. Whether you still ride or you race or not, it doesn't matter. Everybody's starting to jump on board. I know that we get seen across the country. There's some pretty inspirational people that are part of our group that were big names or are big names in the motocross world. And it's really cool to see them stand up and take notice of what we got going on up here. So hopefully more of this will actually spread through other areas of the country. I did say that I'm getting more comfortable being behind the camera. I think it would be super cool to get to this Foxborough Supercross and to be able to come on and talk about the whole Old Men That Used to Race thing on Race Day Live with Holly and Daniel Blair. I doubt that it would ever happen, but it would be pretty badass if it did. All right, guys, with that, I'm going to sign out. Thank you all for watching, hanging in there. It's really cool to see everything that's going on. Have a great night. We'll be back by the end of the week at some point. Thanks.